are
the
trio. This is the trio. This is like the first time the trio has been together
since the last time.
Since that's going to be shown.
Well, those are the untalked about times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The times that shall not be named.
All right,
The trash can. Garbage can. What?
Intro.
This is welcome today. Just for today, we are on the Just for Today cast.
So we're changing all that up too.
We're trying new things.
We always need to start with the intro so people know what they're listening to.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. We
Yeah.
did. Yeah. We talked.
We decided
about
that.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, so I'm going to try it again.
All right.
Drink your energy drinks.
Yeah, no
Marker.
Yeah.
It's the camera's on you right now. Marker.
I know, but we've got, this is, again, what I'm saying is this is the trio. This is the first time the trio of the Just for Today cast. This is more
And
so.
Broken Helm.
I think this is like the origin story of the Just for Today cast, which is where
New
we
Hope.
are today.
A New Hope.
Welcome. Okay. Copyright. You are watching the Just for Today cast or listening to it on the Broken Helm. The Broken Helm. No, it's
just
Broken
on
Helm.
Broken Helm.
I just
On
looked
Broken
at the
Helm.
camera for the first time ever.
Well, it's good. It's the intro.
did
I
you
looked
just-
right
did
into
you
the
just like the camera?
I did for the first time.
All right, let's do this. It's cool.
Intro-
In the beginning, I can put cards up. Go.
Intro is botched.
What?
You ready?
No, this is good.
One more time.
One more time. Just try it.
We're trying something different.
We might have two intros.
Yeah.
I'm gonna spike the camera again.
Please don't.
Okay.
All right. Today
Yeah.
is the Just for Today cast episode that you are listening and or watching on Broken Helm with the Captain, Nick, is our special guest.
Who are you?
I'm JP. This is Scott.
I'm Scott.
Scott Rambo, which actually there's a new Rambo movie out.
Yeah, there is a new Rambo movie. I haven't
I'm
seen
excited.
it yet. Have you guys seen it?
It's supposedly like a huge MAGA
Yeah.
plug.
Really?
Yeah.
How do they work MAGA into Japanese anime or comic books into
Manga?
MAGA, not manga.
MAGA? Oh, MAGA.
Yeah.
Oh, like red hat wearing
Yeah.
Donald Trump
like
thing.
the cursed thing that we will not speak of. We have a red MAGA hat that
We do.
you know about it.
I
Yeah.
do know about the MAGA
Yeah.
hat. Yes.
Yeah. And then my
Nobody
wife
else does.
Oh yeah.
But
Guess who's producing today?
Oh.
My beautiful wife. She was there when I got the MAGA hat, and she refused to be within like 30 feet of me.
Really?
We got into a fight
Over
at a
the MAGA
fair
hat.
over a MAGA hat. That's some pretty
Fair-
trash shit.
it was
right there.
where did you get the
But
MAGA?
was it a fair
At a
fight?
fair.
Was
At
it a fair fight?
Okay.
Was it a fair?
Was it a fair fight?
Was it a fair fight?
The amount of time it took you to get that was horrible. You're off, bro. Anyway, you were the captain.
Well, wait a minute. So what is the MAGA hat used for?
Oh.
In case the listeners don't know, or
so
watchers.
I don't know. I don't like to talk about it too much because it polarizes things.
But
and-
you did
and we,
say
and we
that
try not. Okay, yeah,
should
we
not
try
be mentioned.
We try not to polarize this show, but it's basically when someone's being like overtly racist or like getting on the edge. It's for another show that we do.
Right.
The over the edge.
Yeah, and the MAGA hat comes out when you start to say things that are a little bit sketchy. I mean,
I haven't seen
nothing's malicious, but it's like one of those things. It's like, is it great to say that? Please don't.
It's kind of like a dunce hat.
It's a dunce hat, you know.
Right.
Not that if you support Trump, you're a dunce or whatever. But
It's just what it represents on
right,
your show.
the Make America, like the actual slogan is pretty messed up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, let's go back to the 50s where everybody was oppressed except
Yeah.
for white people.
Yeah.
Good
times.
It reminds me
Oh,
of
no, sorry.
It reminds me of the Lucy K joke. Where he's talking about time machines.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, white people are the only people that can use time machines.
Yes.
You know, it's like anyone else, you go like white people can't even go back like 30 years.
Right
Like,
now. Yeah. No, I remember that stand up. That was great.
Yeah.
That was man, that's sad what happened to him.
Well, hot button stuff.
Yeah. I'm just going on that.
Yeah.
The Louis C.K. You heard about what happened to Louis C.K., right?
I vaguely remember
He was
something.
part of the Me Too movement.
He got Me Too'd.
He got Me Too'd.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not almost Me Three'd, but
Yeah. He had a habit.
We don't have to
and-
talk about
yeah,
it.
He had
Yeah.
a habit and it wasn't great.
Like a
and
drug
he's-
habit?
no.
No.
An
it
R.
was-
Kelly habit where he
Would
beats
you
up
know-
people?
It was
It was kind of R. Kelly-ish.
Really?
Kinda.
No.
I know he masturbates a lot in the basement
Oh,
behind the
there it
water
is.
heater.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it is?
We jumped
He-
right into it.
yeah.
He made some people that were part of the Me Too movement.
Uh-huh. That would
Watch
be
him.
women.
Well,
Watch
he
him.
didn't go out and
Assuming,
grab
right?
the people from the Me Too.
He's like,
movement.
"Get over
He's
here."
Like, he wasn't like, he's like, hey, Are you going to destroy my career? Come here. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well,
No, they became part of the Me Too movement
Yes.
After
it was-
listening to him?
Here, do you want to? I mean,
you can take it.
So it was a young comedian. So he had like power over. It's Louis C.K. and this was not Louis C.K. at small time. Louis C.K.'s never been small time.
When he had Louis.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, he was huge.
Okay.
And still is.
All right.
And so
I heard it was average.
Anyways, his thing was to get people to watch him masturbate.
Yeah.
And so he kind of like a question. So if you have a young person who wants to be with you, like you, and ultimately like he could set your career up or he could destroy it.
Sure.
And he puts you in that position, like
You kind of feel compelled
almost
to...
yeah. And his whole thing, like he didn't necessarily force himself, but being in that position, he took advantage of his position. And
Yeah.
and his biggest mistake was he didn't pull a Kevin Hart and say go F yourself. He said I'm sorry. And so he immediately agreed and condemned himself to all the ridicule that followed. He thought thinking like, oh, if I'm going to apologize and be
Sincere.
a sincere human being, people are going to like it'll go away-ish.
Okay.
Nope.
No. He fell off.
So
Yeah.
there wasn't any of those. What's that document you sign with people before you engage?
A non-disclosure?
Yeah, no, not an NDA. The thing like, okay, we're gonna have sex and you're not gonna use it against me and blackmail me type thing. What's that called?
I mean, that's a form of a non-disclosure.
Yeah, that's
isn't it?
that's
What's that called?
There's contracts.
What's the contract called? Like when a rich person's gonna like.
indecent proposal.
No.
That sounds like a really good movie
It is a good movie.
with Glenn Close. Is it?
No, indecent. No, Glenn Close was the.
It's like a consent form.
Yeah, there you
Some
go.
type of consent,
Saying
mutual
that,
consent or
yeah, mutual
something.
consent form. There you go.
They
Yeah.
have digital consent forms now.
You were,
in Sweden.
Right.
You were talking about that was Fatal Attraction with Glenn Close.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
she's like, I won't be ignored.
Yeah.
But then Indecent Proposal was Robert Redford and Woody Harrelson and really hot. What's her name?
the brunette
G.I. Jane.
G.I. Jane.
Yeah. Oh, you asked me too
He
fast.
paid her $1 million
Oh
to
my God.
sleep with her for a weekend or something like that.
Demi Moore.
Moore.
Yeah.
Oh, Demi.
Yeah.
She
So
is a Demi.
obviously, Louis C.K. did not have a. I almost said non-compete. He did not have one of these forms filled out for this person to.
No, I think that wouldn't have mattered. That was okay. So we're on the Just for Today cast.
And it sounds like two junkies, one podcast.
No.
No.
Well,
no.
we're kind of getting
That's-
into that.
We would never be that entertaining.
Right? That's setting the bar high. That's setting the bar high. I do want to be a guest on that show one day.
I do too. Yeah, because then I can let out all my inner.
Nope.
Junkie.
That's exactly why I don't want you on there.
Yep.
Why?
It's because that's Travis being Travis.
Yep.
That's not Travis Unleashed. That's just
Travis.
How do you know that I don't have that side of me? There's a side of me that you don't know
I don't
about.
want Scott Unleashed. Scott as I have him right now is enough. Is that and Travis is like there's the way he speaks on that show is no different from the way he speaks to people at a meeting. Like he doesn't share like that, obviously.
Or like at Ingles.
But like, you know,
At the checkout. He's like,
yeah.
"Rah, rah, rah."
yeah, he's not like, hey, were you diddled?
Have you ever fucked a horse?
Yeah,
No.
Whoa.
that was me, by the way.
Oh, that was you.
Yeah, no, and I didn't bang a
You
horse.
fucked a horse?
Oh,
No.
I was like, what?
Here we go. All right, now we are in their territory.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Wow, we just went over the edge.
Yeah.
Are you regretting your decision to sit in on this
I don't know.
Day of my life.
Just for today. Oh,
Just for
very good.
today?
She's fast.
Hot
How
shot
did we
producer.
get- Wow, we are so not
So,
in line with our
the
original
point-
intent.
The point of having
the
you
show.
on this.
How much
Yeah.
time is left on that one?
Oh God! Don't do that. You're not a producer.
Then, all right. I like doing it no more than 30. But yeah,
All right. So
we were on the Just for Today cast.
Yeah, let's really.
that's what I like. And,
Yeah.
and the reason we have you on today with Scott as our creator and
Yeah.
I'm just here.
omnipotent being, I guess. He's our creator. You are like, in a sense, a step above that because you created Broken Helm, so to speak.
I did.
It is that's your brainchild, your project, your life's work, is what I'm saying. So, tell us a little bit about what got you to decide to open up Broken Helm, and what is it?
Yeah, what is Broken Helm?
Genesis was me living in a sober house Genesis means like the beginning thoughts or beginning creation.
Yeah, the book of the Bible.
Yeah, but you can use it.
We're gonna
like,
go biblical now.
No, you can use it as like a verb.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
We're gonna verb it up.
Yeah. Verb now. I don't know.
Wow, look at you.
I'm not.
Look at you.
Sometimes it clicks on, but it
Yeah.
clicks right back
See,
off
I know.
immediately.
I'm rubbing off on him. See, now he's using Bible stuff.
Now you're back in that other territory.
Genesis is actually one of my favorite words. But
I like that. I like
yeah.
Sega too.
It's a good
Yeah.
band too.
Oh no, I do.
Really?
I like it.
No.
Well, Phil was better by himself, I think, his solo project.
I don't think he likes Phil at all.
No, I hate Phil.
Phil's a good drummer.
No,
He's no Neil Peart. But
Anyways,
old guy rock is enough. But
Broken Helm.
yeah, Broken Helm. So its Genesis was started in a Oxford house, halfway house, sober house, whatever you want to call it, 3/4 house,
Sure.
whatever. The idea came from I wanted to have a streaming channel because I've been obsessed with Rooster Teeth since I was a kid.
And Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth is the guys who invented machinima, basically the video game creating media content out of video games.
Okay.
Okay.
So like Let's Plays, they even create shows in it. Like they were the guys who made Red vs. Blue.
Oh yeah.
They're the ones. So
Are you talking about the Halo project, the cartoon?
yeah, the Halo cartoon.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that was
I've seen
originally
that.
traded on VHS tapes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the World of Warcraft thing, the Leroy Jenkins?
Yeah.
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 That
Yeah.
was my favorite. Is that
Yeah.
like does that fall into
So
the
yeah, like it's,
Yeah.
if you were to keep that guy, that was a one hit type of thing.
Right.
That was more like a YouTube explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went
But,
viral.
yeah, a viral video.
That's
but
actually what got me into World of Warcraft, believe it or not.
was
Leroy
Leroy
Jenkins?
Jenkins?
Was it a whole Leroy? Because
Yeah.
my ex-wife was huge into Warcraft, and
Okay.
thought you were gonna
in
say
the
Leroy
wintertime
Jenkins.
when there was not much to do in Michigan, she would turn on her account and she'd World of Warcraft. And when we moved down here, we had some time we weren't doing anything, and she's like, it was the anniversary of Leroy Jenkins, and because she was into it, I'm like, hey,
I
look
didn't
at
know
this
there was
cool
an
video I found, and she looked at me like, well, yeah, idiot.
We're
Like,
having
I
a
know
candlelight
that.
vigil on the
Yeah, so I started
anniversary of
looking into
Leroy
it. But
Jenkins.
to make a long story short, yeah, I ended up getting into World of Warcraft, so I played for like a winter. It was
Okay.
pretty cool. It was
I've
fun.
lost
I
a couple
enjoyed it.
friends to WoW.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did
Yeah.
too, and I know WoW has like ruined marriages too.
And
before.
people have gotten married because of WoW.
Yeah.
And people have supported their families. I have a friend that
Yeah,
did
mining.
that for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
That he just would earn stuff and sell it on
Yeah.
eBay.
Yeah.
Mining.
That was his job.
There was I can't remember. There was at some point the gold in Warcraft was like worth as much as like most most currencies in the world.
They were
like
checking-
not just third world, but like they were like
They were spot checking it and all that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. So I wanted to stream. I wanted to have a streaming channel, and obviously I didn't want to just like stream me because I'm like,
God,
I'm like
yeah.
as much as I think I'm that interesting, I'm really not.
right.
But
I'll second that.
so I'm just gonna ignore all the abuse.
No, it's coming. Get your hands out of your pockets. Get comfortable. Come on, you're on our show. Come on.
And I wanted I needed a gimmick or like a hook, and so my thing was it was going to be a sober channel. You know?
Okay.
It was
Sure.
which doesn't exist. It still doesn't exist on Twitch to my knowledge. Is a channel
Okay.
that was dedicated to nothing but
Sobriety.
so not necessarily sobriety, but like that community.
Okay.
Okay.
The addict community.
Sure.
The recovery community.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, the
I like where
recovery
you went with
community.
that.
Yeah.
All right.
And that, initially that got me to thinking on other aspects. Like I was basically going to be building a studio,
Right.
and I did recording when I was growing up a lot with my friends. Like I was always the guy. Like I played music, but I was always the guy who ran all the AV stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
And
That's what we talked about.
yeah,
Scott and I talked about when the idea of the Just for Today cast was brewing when we were in a program at the VA.
Yeah.
And I said, if you get this, because I said he's got a voice.
yeah,
He's got a voice that some people would like to hear, not me, but other people. But if he got it off the ground, that I said I could run the AV for him and help
Yeah.
with boards and all that stuff. And,
Yeah, before
and
we
it
ever
come-
met, like when we were both in treatment.
Yeah,
like,
this
that
was-
was something.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that.
My
What did
fir-
you know? Oh, hold on. What did you know?
So and then you kind of reiterated this to me was that it was something that milled around in your head half cooked
Mm-hmm.
that I finished for you idea wise.
This has been some, what
Yeah.
we're doing today is something that's been in the works for about 20 years, because my first time sober, I was approached by someone.
Yes, he did tell me
based
that.
on the context
Yeah.
of my voice, but the I would have had to gone out and built the studio, and I would have had to do all the groundwork, and it was too daunting, and I was like, I
Right.
can't be involved in this.
And we had
it
talked-
just takes too much.
And
then
we had talked about
so I get sober again.
my past in radio.
right.
And we were at the smoke shack, you
Yep.
know, just talking, getting to know each other. And
Yeah.
we talked about my past in radio and how, commented on his voice. I said, if you ever did something like that, it's so easy to do now, like
Yeah.
the world being flat with technology,
Yeah.
so to speak, because you can get a small board and just do a podcast by
Sure.
yourself.
Yeah.
But it does take more knowledge than what, he had. So I said I could help out with that or in any way, but I never
And Josiah was
thought
actually,
he would talk about being behind the mic is the
Yeah,
thing.
and,
I was just
and
said
our
that.
friend Josiah was like that. We had, there was a bunch of us that kicked around the idea about doing something like similar to this.
The idea was more for vets.
Yeah,
when
for
we
veterans.
talked.
Yeah,
When we
just
talked,
specific
yeah.
And
veteran
which we have
stuff.
which I still really want to.
You do,
to
yeah.
hit
Yeah.
home with
Yeah.
the show, but we have yet to really express that.
Right, we had one
Yeah.
veteran guest.
Yeah, one veteran guest. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like really. It's I guess it hasn't defined your position so far. I mean, it definitely
Right.
defines who you are.
Right.
But not overtly. Like you guys
No,
aren't.
we
You
haven't
guys
really
aren't wearing
capitalized on that.
flags and
No.
eagles and.
I mean, I got a tattoo.
Some people do. Some people yeah, sure you do, but it's covered up. Yeah.
Right. Right.
You want to see the other? You wanna see?
Yeah, if you want to.
little,
Yeah.
little lion. Look at that lion.
Is it cool?
It's a breastplate. It's all armor.
Yeah.
That I have.
You want to?
Yeah.
I got I got 2 tattoos.
Yeah.
I got one here.
Is that a sparrow?
It's a no. It's a seagull from Jonathan Lemon Seagull.
I know. I'm just kidding. I just
And,
wanted to give you shit. Oh, can we feed it Alka-Seltzer?
Or Cheerios.
Can we
Let's
have your
feed it
hand
Cheerios,
blow up?
yeah.
I've done that.
I know you have. I didn't know, but I knew. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
I knew you
So
would.
you
I
got
know.
so you've got this idea to
Got
do
another
video.
tattoo, too.
You got this idea to do video gaming stuff, and it
Roy
kind of
Orbison?
blossomed into some other things like.
So yeah, so it went from, and I was sort of getting into it. I was basically building another studio with the stuff that I was going to be building because I wanted it to be kind of like a battle station type of thing. I wanted multiple units. I wanted a couch cam, because I love the group feel.
I know where you're going.
Okay.
Casting count.
We're listening.
Is it me that does this to shows?
Yes.
I
Is
think,
it?
I
It
think
is,
so.
I think
Is
it
it?
is. We feel more relaxed
Okay.
when it's a three.
I think I mean I'm not even making excuses. I think it's just him.
Okay.
It's a broken helm that we're on, bro.
Do I need a button? Is it?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it because I'm
I'm-
revealing too much?
Oh my god.
That's a 70s chest porn
It is.
hair.
All right.
All right. So,
So
a couch.
and
Cam.
the equipment I was gonna be looking into was all Shure equipment, which is reminding me of the stuff that I used when I was recording music. And so I was thinking, well, if I basically have a music studio in the works, why not venture out that way? I have a music studio. I started doing that. I'm like, so what do I have if I'm streaming and I have a music studio?
Okay.
Like at that point, it's kind of, and I don't know.
Right.
For the longest time, I was like, especially talking to my wife, and I was coming up with all these different ventures on what I could do with the studio. She's like, that's just one more thing you got to do now, And so she's like, why aren't you just going back to your original idea or being more concise? Because the way she saw it was mania, which I suffer from bipolar disorder.
I get that.
Which
Right.
it was. A lot of these ideas did
You're like, "Ah,
stem from mania.
This is great. And then we're gonna move to Alaska, and then
Right.
It was basically that, and it was really scary to her because I was genuinely excited. I saw a realistic path, but at the same time, I was untreated. I was totally in mania.
So you weren't even on.
I was not on any drugs at this point.
Not even like pharmaceutical.
That's what. No, I meant I wasn't on any pharmaceutical drugs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Drugs
clean.
that are what ish.
Ish.
Yeah.
You're in the process. You were on
Yeah.
your journey.
If I wasn't if I wasn't dabbling with painkillers,
Yeah.
I was dry. Which I
yeah.
equate with being basically.
So Broken Helm was something that was the conception of that and the birth was done sober. Because you said it was originally back. You
Yes.
said it was
The
it was
original-
hatched in an
Yes.
Oxford house,
Yeah.
a sober living environment.
yeah, sober-ish. I was dry. I wasn't doing
Yeah.
any drugs or drinking, but I was not.
Okay.
White knuckling it, so to speak.
I was white
yeah.
knuckling, and I was
Yeah.
not in a great place.
So you got this.
I was
So
in
you,
a better place.
so the the biggest thing or like the focal point would have been gaming, streaming. for
Initially,
recovery.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing.
He doesn't know what to do with his hands.
Yeah.
I love this. He's like
It's
nervous.
it's part of us. It's one of my favorite lines. In
Can you grab
the
some
song?
socks?
Actually,
We're gonna put socks on his hands.
I have baby mittens.
Baby
it's
mittens,
actually
yeah.
what's the line in the Weekend Then song? It's from Left and Leaving.
Sidewalks are watching me think about you. Right?
No, it's something
Whoa.
about like you can't. I don't know what to do with my hands.
I think that
It's
was Ricky Bobby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cars aren't good.
yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
All right. So
gaming.
gaming, streaming,
Yeah.
and then music, and then
Yeah.
podcast further on down the line.
Been podcasts were the very, very last thing. I don't remember how I got the idea. I think did I pitch the idea to you?
Yeah, when we had met at I'd come and done a share at a recovery
Yeah,
center.
it was my H&I commitment.
Yeah, your H&I commitment. Hospitals and institutions to bring people that are working a program into the different institutions where people are getting sober and share their experience, strength, and hope. And that's where we met. And you approached me outside. You were like, "Wow, you've got a great voice. Have you ever done anything with it?" And that's when you explained what Broken Helm was to me, and we ended up doing this. I hatched this thing, like got the idea for this, and then got a hold of JP.
How did I explain it to you?
He took forever.
You
Like
told
it was
me,
my
you
bad.
told
By
me
the
I
way,
have a studio, and I'm doing. You told me about.
want you to come check out my couch.
You told me about the albums that you were producing.
Okay.
About
So,
dark.
yeah.
What's the name?
Pale
of it?
Horse.
Pale Horse. So yeah, about
With
Pale
L.
Horse
Yeah.
and everything.
P4.
P4 Horse, yeah.
L.E.
And that
Horse.
project and everything, but you had said you really hadn't done anything with the gaming or the podcast, and
No,
it turns
yeah.
out now podcast is kind of.
Yeah, podcast is his main focus right now. It's
Which-
still
And it wasn't until a while later I asked you, well, why broken? Like, what does the term broken helm mean?
That's what I was getting at because it
Yeah.
seems like because we know and we're gonna have you
Yeah.
explain it, but it seems like the whole process that we got to podcast makes sense when you describe what Broken Helm means.
know.
Yeah.
So what
Right.
helped you settle on Broken
Why
Helm?
the
Is
I
word?
get so excited about this because it's so if you know, I'm obsessed with Moby Dick, and
I hope
the
they don't
book-
have like a blank spot and where like in the sound and you miss Moby. Like 'cause
I am obsessed with Dick.
Moby
Yeah,
Dick.
yeah.
Big white whale. Call me Ishmael.
So you're obsessed with
I
Moby
know
Dick.
you love when I say that.
Anyways, so if people who go beyond reading the book, it's an all-encompassing experience. Like the book is it's a whale of a book.
Oh,
So
you
because
did
it's
what you did.
huge.
It is. It's
There's like tons of different meanings, and it all kind of means the same thing. It's hard. It's dense, and so where Broken Home came from is not only is it a fantastic kind of I wanted it to be something nautical because I'm obsessed with the book,
Sure.
but
seagull.
it's seagull.
Seagull.
It's
Steven Seagal?
don't bring him in this.
No!
We'll never finish.
Okay.
We'll never finish.
Wipe that.
It's too much. God, I love Steven Seagal. But
right.
I feel like I'm Steven Tyler all the time.
Yeah. And you're like, ah.
Yeah. So, Broken Helm basically means, as an addict, our navigation system is inherently flawed. The way our BIOS, our basic, our mind is from a point of origin. It is fucked.
Yeah.
So regardless of how good we're doing or whatever, successful, we're still we're working with what in my mind is a broken compass, broken helm, if you will, or a steering wheel
Sure.
type of thing. It's not a steering wheel. It's whatever.
Like the rudder, like it connects.
No, that's
the
a different
It
component
does.
on
Yeah,
the
it connects.
ship.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
wheel,
Yeah.
the wheel, whatever.
Yeah.
And
Wheel.
So yeah, I think Broken Helm describes where we are as addicts. Kind of like, it's not necessarily negative. It's not necessarily positive. It's just an alternative way about going things. Is it more difficult with a Broken Helm? Most definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then and no one will. I've heard there's obviously grateful addicts out there, but you'll never say one or hear one say, "It's easier than you have it."
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like glad I'm not an addict because life is so easy with this shit.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that'll never come out. But
No.
and that's just a basic fact. But
Without
yeah,
sarcasm.
that's where the name came from.
So so correct me if I'm wrong, but like our basic ability to be able to steer ourselves through life is in somehow way, shape, or form dysfunctional.
Yeah, or
Broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We can do it, but just we're doing it with
you
a broken
can-
piece.
It's
you
just
can
a bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just harder. It's harder to do.
It's a
initially.
bitch.
Right.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you can't
But
master it or become good with faulty equipment.
Sure.
But would you ideally like equipment that isn't faulty?
Well,
Of course.
in a perfect world,
But yeah.
Kevin Costner. But so I'm on a weird movie
Ghosts.
reference. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so the broken and when you said this and you told me about the journey that we got to podcasts and how the last thing that you thought of producing or having at your studios was podcast,
Yeah.
and now it's like the big.
Yeah.
It's
The
become
main-
the
the main
primary
part.
focus. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with a broken helm, it's kind of like you're at the, without it being fully checked, you're at the
Yeah.
seas.
You're at the mercy of the
Mercy
wind and
of
the
the-
Kind
waves.
of. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
you can always sail without a rudder. It's not easy. You can always sail without a helm.
Yeah. And you
But,
may not get where you were intending to go,
Right.
but you
Well,
get somewhere.
you have to-
You have to run with that inspiration.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I'm doing. Like, is where I'm not just like veering off every 10 minutes. Like, oh, this is a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. This is a good idea. I put focus into every idea that I float to anybody. Like
Right.
it goes through a lot of. First of all, it goes through her.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, and if I have to balance out my level of enthusiasm with her being like, that sounds like a good idea, or that sounds like a lot of work.
Right.
Like I'm scared for you. like
scared for you.
like the project that we're going to be working on is, when I remember explaining to her, she's like, she doesn't want to shit on my excitement.
Right.
She will shit on my idea if it's bad.
Right.
And I
real.
and I
Yeah.
want her to.
Yeah.
But I could tell that she was like, this seems fruitful, Nick, but it seems very involved.
Okay. So in this seems fruitful, my darling. It seems like she's your voice of reason, your Jiminy Cricket, so to speak. Like, just letting you know this might be too much, or
Yeah.
steer clear.
Sounding board.
The sound.
Sounds like
You're
a
dartboard.
It sounds like maybe with
Yeah.
this broken helm, you have a pretty good rudder.
Uh-huh.
So, like when the winds of change come and the seas
Scorpions.
and direction change comes,
We're so far in metaphorical land.
your helm, since your helm is broken. Well, this is what you
shit.
do. So when the helm breaks, right, and being
Just go with it, Scott. Keep going.
Go with it.
if they'll stop talking, let me go
No,
with
it's
this.
when your helm breaks.
So, being a sailor as I am, 8 years in the Navy.
It's even farther.
Easy sailor.
I am a qualified master helmsman, believe it or
Okay.
not.
And
So
you're,
you can go wee or wee.
No,
or
it means
dink, dink.
it means that I am qualified to pilot anything up to the size of an aircraft carrier, from a small boat with a outboard motor to an aircraft carrier.
Cool.
I can drive it.
I can drive an ambulance.
I can't drive it.
I'm
I
legally
probably
not allowed to
could.
drive any.
Then why are you giving me rides?
So,
Hush your mouth.
Oh,
so what? So,
why are you giving me rides?
So what we do when we have a helm that's broken, or not, what they call is non-responsive helm, is we lash the rudder, which means you get the
Yeah.
rudder to whatever position you can get it to. Ideally, it is in straight alignment with the ship, but you lash what's called lash the rudder, so the rudder is stable, so that when the winds and the waves direction, when that comes, you figure out how to adjust your sails or adjust other components on the ship to be able to get to where you want to go with that lashed rudder. And it sounds like Caitlin, in a big way, is that rudder that helps you direct, that helps steer the ship as it
Time out.
pertains to, because I know that she's actually been involved in like giving some constructive feedback and watching our episodes and telling us things to focus
Yeah.
on and stuff like
you,
that.
You said, you just called her a rudder and said that he has to lash the rudder to keep it in line. Holy shit.
Well,
Wow.
wow.
Does that happen?
That do we want to go there?
No, I
My
think
mother-in-law lives in this house.
I think the
Okay,
rudder does the
yeah,
lashing in this
but,
one. I think that it's a reverse effect. You really went deep into that. We're gonna have to have a whole show on nautical
metaphors.
like ship sailing.
Nautical, no, just nautical
Yeah,
metaphors.
you know,
I'm the king, I'm the king of metaphor. Right?
Are you?
I am.
So I pretty much what she said earlier is yes, you're right, but for the most part,
she's your rudder.
in life for the show, she's like a soundboard. Is like I'm bouncing ideas off her, and like even if she has a negative feedback,
Yeah.
I can tell by her feedback like kind of where it's coming from.
Sure.
So if it's coming from a place that I don't really, I'm like
It's constructive.
yeah, like I don't necessarily agree with, then I can throw that away. But if it's like if she's gonna talk to me about a creative aspect that I just disagree with, like like lighting or something,
Okay.
you know, that I'm already working on, I'm like, yeah, I get that, you know, like
Right.
But for the most part, honestly, it's like 99% of what she says is like always the advice that I should have listened to in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I don't want to sound like that cliche guy, but it really has like.
It's not cliche.
Yeah.
Cliches are cliche for a reason. So
Yeah.
if it's that way, then
But like
Then,
she
yeah.
can, and like when I came down here before, I was like, she can probably do my job better than me. I was not kidding.
no.
Like,
But then I
90
saw her face when you were trying to show her how to change the battery. And I seriously doubted that. No, I'm just-
that's something that she can learn in 2 seconds and already.
I think the face was that she didn't want to learn. I think that was the point.
No, that too.
I'd rather be watching the baby.
So did she have? Did
No, she would not.
well, did she
Yeah.
So did Caitlin did your wife automatically buy into this project straight out of the gate? The Broken Helm studio project.
No, not at all. She was and as not to fault her at all. It was, she didn't know where I was mentally. Like
Right.
the week before, I could have been. There was a time when I was talking about running like a trash racket, right? And like in California, where I was going to collect people's recyclables and cash them in, and then give them a percentage.
Let's go do
It
it.
sounds so early addict type.
Yeah.
kind of shit.
I want to get back out to California. Let's go. We can do the
Yeah,
podcast from there.
So-
Trash men on ice.
Also,
We could do that.
one of the biggest problems about being manic depressant and not being treated for so long was, and I wasn't treated at this point,
Right.
was I had tons of ideas. There's tons of ideas she probably thought were great. She
Sure.
didn't know I was. My thing is, I never followed through.
She's
Yeah.
like, fucking pick one, Nick, and let's run with it.
I never did more than 20 minutes of work in something besides talk about it.
Yeah.
And
That's
it took,
the man.
and it really was an investment in time and dedication and persistence that finally she's like, this one isn't going away.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
And-
I see what.
Well,
Yeah.
Well,
I
thank
see what
God
you
for
mean.
that, or we wouldn't be here. Yeah.
Sure.
I'm
yeah.
indifferent.
Well, she'll be happy when we start turning a profit. But
Yeah, of
Well,
course.
we all
I mean,
will. Yeah, we all will. Because then we could do this full time, and we don't have to worry about
Well, I mean, either way.
building aircraft lighting stuff and waiting tables and. all
Who's
kinds
building
of-
aircraft lighting stuff?
Yeah, that was a loose reference.
Yeah, I want to do that. That sounds fun.
Just all the other shit that we do to be able to pay the bills.
Smoking
It's
lamps
like-
lit.
So if you enjoy what you're listening to and want to sponsor us, we are
Oh,
open to sponsorship.
shameless plug.
Shameless. Potential sponsor.
So
plug.
we've gone over where you got the idea, where you were in life and in recovery at that point.
Right.
But like, where do you want to go with this? What's your
What's your plan?
end game with Broken Helm?
I don't. So following with the kind of practice that I'm doing now, I don't necessarily have an end game. I'm not as erratic as the dog chasing a tire, but I want to. What I really want to do is I want to produce music.
I want to dance.
Yeah, I want to dance. I want to produce music. I would love for these podcasts to be a little bit more autonomous. You know, kind of functioning on their own, just more or less just like renting studio space.
Right.
As much as I love being involved, like it is a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't envy you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would really like to get into the project that I can't talk about, like which is more creative.
Voldemort?
And pretty much, yeah. And
That's
more
Project
more
Voldemort.
more video production realms
gotcha.
where and
Harry Potter reference.
So you want to
and
get
yeah, and but studio, like physical, like I want to have the trailers that we plan on doing, more people, and I would also, I think this is what you're getting at, because you know about this, is I would like a much bigger roster.
Yeah.
Is I would like a
talent.
Just burn and turn. Like I want a lot of people coming in and out. And
are you open to that? Because I mean, we do reach a lot of people in recovery, and since you said your original concept was to be able to offer something for people in recovery, if there's people out there watching and listening that have like an idea and a concept, like they could get a hold of you and be like,
and
I want to do an album, or I want to do a podcast, or I want to do some Twitch video gaming or something like that. You'd be open to one of our listeners or watchers approaching you with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, we just have some.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So it was so. And right now, recently, I've been building a lot of like basic infrastructure on like how things work, revenue streams, kind of, like really just kind of feeling out how things are going to function.
Sure.
And I am always open to ideas, like 100% right now. But I'm really going to turn that shit up to like 11, coming up into like the next couple weeks.
Why
Spinal Tap
11?
reference. Spinal Tap reference, right?
Yeah. Why 11, brother?
Turn it up to 11.
Turn it up to 11.
But why not make 11, like 10 is as loud as 11?
Yeah.
So you don't have to go to 11.
Yeah.
But
do that with your fingers.
don't hit the table. All right. So what you're saying is, we get what you're saying, and we're trying to keep it, because you're getting kind of serious. So I'm trying to keep you a little.
No, he's getting frustrated.
Yeah,
That's
frustrated. I don't like it. I don't like that look on you.
Well,
but
I started off loose,
see
and
if
we
we
went
can get him to
straight to
walk.
Me Too and porn. So
Yeah, we're gonna get
and hands
get him to
right
walk
back in
off
the pockets.
show.
Yeah.
But where did this come? Where did the funding of this come from? Like, how did you get the money for this?
so I
mean, because I don't know that much about you before you were El Capitan.
We'll go back into my career, I guess.
Sure.
I was in the culinary industry for 15 years. Towards the end, I was a chef. I couldn't do that anymore and stay sober, so I became an Uber driver.
Okay.
Did really well doing that, and I started effing around with stocks. And my family has been involved with those, and they've taught me from a very young age a lot of the basics, which I thought were instilled in most people.
No,
they are not.
No, not at all.
I guess it's just like my bougie family. Like, but
you were born with it, or it's Maybelline.
I took a lot of early risks with not that much money, but enough to like
scare people.
Kind of. But at the same time, like I was supporting my family.
Yeah.
With Uber, I was living in a sober house, so I had minimal expenses. It really was my time to grow and experiment.
Were you doing that here?
No, I was doing that in Bend.
Bend?
Yeah.
Where's Bend?
Bend, Oregon.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
You have Oregon plates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, I recommend this to nobody whatsoever.
Okay.
I got really lucky. From an educated standpoint. Mm-hmm. I got really lucky from an educated standpoint. Also from a standpoint who have seen people succeed and fail a trillion times over throughout growing up, especially my dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I got lucky with some penny stocks, and that helped fund me. I got safer with it as I've gone along, and now I'm not.
You got lucky with penny stocks?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know it was penny stocks. Wolf of Wall Street over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
I mean, those are the most volatile.
Yeah, I know.
And so I was able to like literally put in like $100 or $200, and like
a little like
I hit 1,000% on 3 in the span of 2 months.
Wow.
Which is
insane.
Not like so I'm saying it's like what I was when we talk about luck.
Yeah.
Like that's luck. And from there, I grew the tool and paid for
Divinity.
2 rehab. No, 1 rehab. 3. I paid for 3 rehabs with my money. 2.
Wow.
2.
Okay.
I paid for 2 rehabs with the money I made. I would have. Our studio would be significantly better at this point if I hadn't had to
paid
go
for
to
the
rehab.
rehab.
What? Right.
Yeah, because rehabs keep you sober and get you sober, right?
What I hear though,
It helped me get sober. Yes.
I
know you have a thing, but I'm going to
we have a
ignore
thing.
it and not address it.
part of the
It's all right. I'll bring it up in another episode.
part of what I'm hearing
Trust
is
rehab, clean house, help others. Oh, no, actually. Anyways, all right, go ahead.
thanks for that.
Scott's world we're living in.
Right. From what I'm hearing is
Thank
and
you
one of the
for
big
acknowledging
parts
that.
of recovery that people go in the rooms and stuff. talk about, you get a relationship with your higher power, and from what I've known from the both of you, that it sounds like you've really connected with your higher power. I'm still working on that. Maybe I know he has. I can't get him to stop talking about that higher power, but you got really lucky on these penny stocks. You said,
Yes.
and you got what you said 1,000%. What was it?
Like 1,000. I hit 1,000% on like three of them in like
So-
a span of like a month.
And that's insane. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I was training to be a broker before I
Yeah.
fell off the end. I was going to work for a bigger name company, and I just didn't make it, we'll say. I missed the Series
Yeah.
7 exam. But that's so unheard of that just I can't help but think that there's some higher power in there that was
Yeah.
putting you towards it, because it doesn't hit like that.
No, it doesn't.
It
And
doesn't.
It had nothing to do with my skill.
No.
It was honestly, I looked, and this is my method, and I'll tell everyone my method, because people ask me.
Write it in a book.
This is how I got
and
rich.
Barely put it in there and just write a whole bunch of bullshit around it and sell that book for like thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Well, it's real easy. I literally typed in most volatile penny stocks at the moment.
Oh my
There's
God.
a website that brings up that list. It shows
Okay.
you different percentages, and some were like, and I was like, buy low. I looked for ones that were way oversold and shit. And so I was
Yeah.
like, why not? It has potential.
Yeah.
I would say out of those three, there was probably a couple hundred that never did anything, that floundered. There were a couple that tanked even further.
Right.
How much money did you put in each of them?
The ones where I hit it, it was less than 1,000.
Wow.
Like a couple hundred.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Well, less than 1,000 is a little more than a couple hundred too. Like, are you talking
like-
about over 500?
Yeah. Let's say-
What?
yeah.
I
so-
don't even have that.
Well, but it wasn't just all at one time. It was like it was.
Oh,
and
okay.
this
I
was-
thought you were talking about like boom.
So this is, I mean, no, I was all one time in that one stock, but I wasn't doing
Yeah.
all of those stocks all at one time.
Gotcha,
so I was
gotcha.
investing less than $5,000.
I'm really susceptible to a gambling problem, and this is not helping me.
Me too. This is
Yeah.
not, and this works for nobody.
I know, but
and there is no method to this.
I got a scratch off yesterday.
So yeah, let's tell a bunch of addicts how to get rich, because they
There's
won't.
no-
Of course, they'll think, well,
No,
that's
if you
his
know-
experience. It won't happen to me. I know different.
No. Well,
Totally.
okay, so what will happen? Okay, and the reason why I don't mind saying what it is, and we'll
I know.
move
No,
on
yeah.
after
I'm
this,
being
is because
silly. Yeah.
9 times out of 10, that method you'll either tank further along and you'll get really scared and pull out, which
Yeah.
we're supposed to do. But I mean, yes,
Wear
no,
protection.
whatever. I'm not going to. Or
never
it'll
pull out.
just go stagnant. Like that volatility chart just showed all the movements it's going to do.
Yeah.
And it's just that, and you're just going to watch a stock do nothing for months.
Yep.
Right.
And so that'll deter people. That's what happens. One of the biggest complaints when I've talked to people about this or who want to get into investing is like, I invested in something that just goes stagnant. And I'm like,
They'll do that.
like, well, because you don't people don't.
They
The
don't
behavior of stocks, graphs, news, whatever. It's something you just learned over time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I'm super young into it.
and it's art.
super young. And
It's an art,
Right.
actually.
I'm not great, and it's something I want to get as far away from as possible.
Okay.
Anyways, that's how
But
I funded.
that's
the
how you
initial-
got funded. Okay.
Yes.
And then
Yeah.
what was the next step? So you funded it. You started buying some equipment.
The next step was building the website. The website was two things for me. It was one, it was literally making a website, which I needed.
Sure.
And two, it really helped get those ideas that I had concise, and to the point. So like it really helped define what
It's like solidified some stuff.
solidified, what everything was, because it really was before, like, especially like trying to explain to people like, what do you do? And I'm like,
Making a website.
yeah.
Making a website.
And like people still kind of like have a hard time like getting their head around it. And so now I just say I run a production company for people who are addicts.
In recovery.
Yeah, people who are addicts. And
Sure.
I like what you've done there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go along. Stop looking behind you.
Yeah, this battery needs to be replaced.
Yeah.
So
You can run it out to the end. And
now we're here. So it's funded and like, what are your future plans? Like, where do you see this going? Like from today moving forward, it's the end of 2019. What does 2020 look like as far as Broken Helm is concerned? Did I get the
Yeah, we
right?
did. No, we did that again.
What?
We already talked about your goals, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I was gonna entertain it, but
well, I just let
yeah.
him know. This is my buddy.
yeah. So I'm It's really like, and this is a. I'll answer it again because I'll do a different
I mean,
answer.
like, are you gonna buy like some property in town and put up some
so that's up in
billboards
the
and
air.
shit? And
That's up in the air. I personally want to stay close to home, but what I'm really
Okay.
gonna be working on is honing what I have.
Okay.
So you guys,
Yeah.
Oh, I love getting home.
2 junkies, getting
We're
more.
not two junkies.
2 junkies, 1 podcast,
and just
and just for today cast. And do you have anything else? Any
And
other
music wise, there's a quite a few music prospects that I need to get into the studio and record.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm starting to play drums.
Yeah.
So it's working. Perfect.
Yeah, sure.
There you go. You can sit in on some
Next
sessions.
Neil Peart. Second Neil Peart reference.
What's our time, sweetie?
Oh, well, I don't know.
Huh?
47 minutes.
47.
Oh, I thought he was
47,
talking to
okay.
me. Ooh.
Ah.
Ooh.
Spicy. That's
Maybe
why.
she doesn't like her break.
That's why.
I said some sass.
So
Oh,
yeah, what do you want?
shit.
So you said hone us. What do you want to do with us? Like, where do you see us going?
Hone me, baby.
Where do you
Hone
see?
me.
What do you see? What is 2020 like? What is if like looking at just for Today Cast
Nude
at
magazines.
the end, by December of 2000?
Or I mean, sorry, nude calendars.
Yeah, but we could.
I've already got like a couple printed up that I do on my own. Glamour shots. No, it was at the
Where-
mall and they kicked me out. But
where do you see? Where by the middle of December 2020, you said you want to hone what you have, and we're one of the things that you have. Like, where do you want us to be? Where would you like to see Just for Today Cast in
I
by
have to-
December of 2020?
Go.
Why are you cutting me off?
I have to point out that that question
Yeah.
kind of defeats the purpose of Just for Today Cast.
Ooh. I like it.
I'm getting deep with it.
I
like it.
pretty deep. With
Yeah.
it.
Which is
What
a
do you
complaint
see
sometimes.
Just for Today Cast
Do you know-
by
do-
December?
do you
All
know-
right, let me rephrase it then.
Here, real
By
quick. I got your question.
No.
I do, I got it.
Okay, I know.
Do you know what honing does?
I do know what honing does.
Do you know
yes.
what honing does versus sharpening?
I do.
Look, what does it do? What does honing versus sharpening do?
Honing prepares the edge it prepares the blade to be able to take an edge.
So yeah, you're not changing the edge at all.
No,
you're
you
just
don't address the edge.
You're aligning.
Polishing.
Yeah,
Almost.
you're basically aligning the pieces of
polishing
metal
is
that
finishing.
are already sharpened.
Correct.
Okay, I'm not going to change anything about you guys. But what
Right.
I am going to do is make what you guys do more concise, more clear, exaggerate what you guys do more. And that's what I want to do with basically any project that comes to me is I don't want to put too much of me in it. I really don't. You know, it's what I'm trying to do is take out is distill what you have and concentrate it. You know, not and we want to go to 11, but not quite a cartoon. But you don't
Right.
want to be, you know, a boring podcast.
Right.
You know, and that is a fight that we do literally every second on this show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can go from I don't
say
feel like listening
Yu-Gi-Oh?
anymore to please stop in the span of a minute.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So taking what we've already got and making it so that it will hold an edge.
Yeah. Yep.
God,
Metaphor
this is
land.
now the Metaphor Show.
Yeah.
It is the Metaphor Show.
Welcome to Just for Today Metaphor Cast.
Metaphorcast. I like that.
You like that? I did something
The
there too.
Metaphorcast for today is part of the cloudy.
We're getting a
Do we
lot.
have any?
So-
Where did the paper go?
The paper, I have it over here. Why?
He
You
wants
wanna
to
make
write
some
something.
notes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you, what do you got?
Nothing.
I got shit. We're flying by the seat of our pants.
I want to hear this.
Yeah.
No, it's I was really when I was asked to come on to this project. I was very surprised. I know it took Scott a long time to get a hold of me. I was in. We're
Yeah,
about
I was real nervous.
well, yeah, and we're about a month apart. You have a month longer in your recovery than I do this
In
time.
our cycles.
In our cycle, we're almost synced.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah.
I have heavy flow. So what I am the most impressed with since coming on this, I didn't think I'd be a big part of it, but it is the professionalism and I want to say relaxed environment. So it's professional. When the job needs to get done, the job it's stated, it's blunt. This is the most transparent company or agreement that I've ever been a part
Project.
of, because I've been in corporate America and nothing is transparent. And
Right.
when we've been going over like our portions and all that, I've just been really impressed with it. And this isn't a plug. This is just me just saying,
Thank you.
good job.
That's also my hell, by the way. So it's
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So that's why I respect it.
is I can't do it. Like I did corporate. I cooked for a corporate company, whatever, for a quick second. And I got yelled at. I think it was the first week. I told a waiter, I was in the middle of service, and I told a waiter to go get me a towel to help wipe.
Yeah.
Help
Right.
wipe plates or whatever.
Give me a towel.
Yeah, but I'm in the middle of service, so I can't leave. I can't stop.
Yeah.
Sure.
And he looks up. He's like, I'm like, go get me a fucking towel.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You
I got reprimanded.
Yep.
Granted, you can't get fired from a corporate job.
No.
I
Right.
found that out later when I wanted to fire somebody.
No.
I was like, it's the fourth time they haven't showed up. What has to happen?
Did you
Yeah.
write them
Like-
up each time?
They basically they're like, all right, well, they got 3 write-ups and
Yeah.
an official warning. And
Yeah.
they got a
Yeah,
meeting,
yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
so it's gonna take them. We calculated out they would have had to not show up like another 3 or 4 times.
What's
Yeah.
that?
Like,
fucking
not show.
Is it a fucking union job? Because I worked in manufacturing, and like you literally
It was
could
just-
walk in and smoke crack and punch somebody out and you won't get fired from a union job.
It was a
yeah.
it was a corporate
Yeah.
job who had
Automotive,
been
yeah.
burned from, I guess, some
Lawyeristic
either
stuff.
So either from either some sex stuff or abuse or
Sure.
whatever, and they were just super cautious.
I got
and they're
burned by
like,
sex stuff once,
yeah.
and I'm allergic to penicillin. No, I'm just kidding.
Actually, like that. That's good.
That was original.
That was like Heart of Darkness a little bit.
That was.
Yeah. like if you brought in like malaria tabs.
Yeah,
that would've been
right.
great.
Well, no, this thing kind of has to work because like this is my So
This is my only shot, man.
This is my
It's gotta
last
work.
shot, man. I'm pushing 50, and like I've done a bunch of different careers. This is like my last. I've thrown myself into this.
What
because-
else are you doing right now
As far as what?
for money?
For money?
Yeah, you still working the corner? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
You said you got some work, right?
Yeah, I'm working. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
See, I'm not working.
You
You're
have a
waiting.
mic, by the way.
I'm
Yeah.
waiting. I'm
It's
waiting.
it's right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to
If
hear
you
what
wanna
you
say
said.
something.
What are you mumbling over there? Huh?
Just
I said sex phone operator.
no.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You could, and you could
Actually,
do that. Could be
Rub 'em
another
hard.
Yeah,
Faster.
that was really good.
No. I,
was like walk
I've got a
hard.
great job at a phenomenal restaurant that I absolutely love being there, and it pays. I'm amazed at the amount of money that comes.
I know,
in.
you're being a
know what,
dick.
though?
I keep
It's just
asking for a
honestly,
line in.
It's a means to an end.
I know.
It's a revenue stream, but really, I know who actually provides all the money.
He's not. Don't hit the table. He's not hooking
that.
a brother up. I keep asking for a position. I don't care if it's missionary, but they won't let me in. So we're going on with this one. We don't know anything about you other than what we've been seeing here, like
Yeah.
at work. I mean, I
And
know
behind the camera.
you have a great. I mean,
do you
because
mean?
your studio is in your home,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So we've met your family, and you have a wonderful family, which they've got to be wonderful to put up with you.
Everyone
and,
loves
and
that.
us.
Yeah.
And us.
I love
Well,
that.
I'm barely here. You're sleeping on the floor, and
lives here.
yeah, Scott,
I
Scott
pretty
lives
much-
here.
I live here.
but
From time
like
to time, yeah.
you've done. We just heard you've done the corporate job. You've done that, but you're also. How long do you have sober?
This time around, I have, I think, 10, 11 months. I don't know. I purposely didn't. God, I heard that pop. I purposely didn't keep my birth date or whatever in my head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because
me neither. I worked on
was-
that. Yeah,
And because it really is at time or accumulated time means nothing if it really is just about, if it's just for today.
It is, really.
Yeah.
One day
Cast.
at a time.
And it really is, and it's like a minute to minute thing, and it's one of those things that like it's meaningless to me. Don't get me wrong. The time means everything to me for my family.
yeah.
Yeah.
But is that time going to keep me? Absolutely not.
No.
It's what I'm doing that day is
Yeah.
what's going to keep me.
Do you
which,
think?
which sucks, but
Do you think that this project and this company has like helped your sobriety, or because I understand starting a business, stress, all that can put strain on your sobriety.
so what's really cool is I started this business or a lot of like the initial big footwork in a alcohol induced psychosis. So, and an untreated mania. So I
Right.
got a lot of that initial stress out of the way. Granted, I've learned a lot of techniques.
Yeah.
I practice a lot of meditation now.
Good.
I sponsor people. I do a lot of work to keep myself sane, and I think that's probably what keeps me from like not losing my shit.
So you have this business, you have the projects, you have your cast, you have hours that you're the overlord of. I know you hate that, but
Captain. He's
but
the captain.
I know, but he hates the the evil overlord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with that beard, he is.
But
who, like, how many? And you also have sponsees.
Two. Yeah.
And I mean, you've got a full plate. And you've got what? You got 2 kids.
Yeah.
And how old is the youngest?
The youngest is shit.
Ooh. But we don't care about time.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we're changing
The
batteries
wrong
on.
time to
Yeah.
forget how old she is.
Camera.
The youngest is 26 of
She's 26 years old.
June.
Oh.
7.
She's 5 months old.
5
She's
months.
five- yeah,
old.
she's 5 months, yeah.
That's all I
Right, okay.
asked. I didn't know. I
And
need
how
to know
old
her
is
birth.
You're acting
yours?
too fast,
How
yeah.
old is your oldest
Yeah.
daughter?
She's 5.
5.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to know your oldest
February
daughter.
2nd, 2014.
Yeah.
Hey,
And she's awesome.
she's
so
brilliant.
She's cool.
She's a great kid.
Yeah,
she loves.
she's amazing.
Just like you, I could tell she's your kid because both of you giggle when I do the like the same giggle. It's funny. But so you've got a handle on things, and in sobriety we know that just having a handle on things doesn't mean that it gets any easier.
Yeah.
It's not.
Is it running?
Just chill.
I'm running
Okay.
with the question.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
So
I swear I'm paying attention to
I
everything.
know,
Yeah.
but you have a lot on your plate. You have a wonderful family. You have sponsees. You have all this, and I've seen and sensed this sense of calm with you, at least on the outward appearance. Like you have the ability to analyze and process problems, situations, and things, much like
You
I
can tell
can.
he's obviously not around as much as I am.
From what our talks, I mean, you can take a step back.
Yeah.
And look at things.
I can.
and that's
Most of the time.
Yeah.
to me, that's a huge tool to have in sobriety.
It took a long time, and also
Yeah.
I think it's a conditioning thing. So as a chef or cook or whatever, whenever my time in the industry, I was involved in a lot of really high stress situations on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like small potatoes, but it's also just as frustrating when And I was looking at Scott because, and Scott was right. You haven't been around, not been around, but like you haven't. Me and Scott have had disagreements. We
Right.
have yet to have any disagreements. We're going to have them.
I know.
But Scott and I have had disagreements, and sometimes I'm like you just explained. I step back. I'm like, this is how things are. I'm sorry, or I say this is what I feel we should go through, and I'm very calm and collected. And sometimes I'm like, God damn it,
Yeah.
I'm losing
Yeah.
my shit.
Yeah.
And that's when a lot of times I come back and I'm like,
Hey,
this is what I mean. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
guy, I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
And I think that's been
Minefield.
constructive
Right.
for the most part. I
is.
don't think we've left any. I try and go back and make sure that like I've been heated, but like I try to make sure that I'm not opening any wounds when I'm saying stuff, and I'm not leaving anything open.
It's as you talk about this. You've mentioned twice now that Broken Helm was something that was hatched or came out of you didn't sit down with a pen and paper one day and go, I wonder what I want to do with my life. It was hatched. You used to use the term. It was hatched in psychosis. It was, but like the initial conception was brought to your mind and then started to take form in less than ideal situations that, like most normal people would sit down and be like, okay, let's plan out a career path and a business and let's go for it. And I think the cool thing is like, well, a lot of stuff like that happens in life, don't you think?
Oh yeah,
I mean, especially being addicts and alcoholics, and recovered addicts and alcoholics, that kind of stuff happens. I mean, The reason I'm bringing that up is like the last place you expect something to actually happens. I mean, I can think of a specific thing that I have in my life. Like, did this thing that I'm currently involved in happen under the best and ideal conditions? No, but it's turning out to be one of the most amazing things in my life, which is not just this podcast, but also personal stuff too.
So my thing, and I've talked to you guys, and I've talked I talked to both of you about this, about having ideas for individual projects or something that you guys want to do.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And I want you to be, and this is how I've gotten ideas, is open, not pushing, not striving, but open for when we're talking about new ideas.
Right.
And then once you receive these like ideas from however it's happening, is putting some motivation behind that and like in the legwork.
Yeah.
And that's where you find out if that's a good idea or not, or if it could be a good idea or if it's attainable or not.
Okay.
And I think that's how, honestly, every single idea is. I'm sure there's trillions of great ideas out there, but nobody's done fuck all. They're like, that's a good idea. Why am I not making money off that? It's because you're not making money because no one knows about it. It's still in your stupid little head.
Yeah.
And that's the worst feeling I've ever I remember having is I've had ideas like that and I did not act on them, and years later someone did.
Yeah.
Like the as seen on TV stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm like, mother.
Yeah, we both her and I have a pretty decent sized list of like ideas that we've thought of. And then later on, we're like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like one of the more recent ones now is this grow box that they sell.
Tomatoes?
Pretty much, yeah.
Was it topsy-turvy?
No. But it's a different concept. It's being able to regulate. It's being able to regulate in soil. Or I'm not going to go over the details.
Yeah,
of it.
we
But
don't
it's,
need
but it's an
those.
idea that I've done for years, and it's worked really well. And I've always been like, I need to patent this and do this.
Yeah.
And someone finally did, and they did it as good, if not better.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck.
Oh shit.
Well, maybe this whole Broken Helm idea wasn't something actually. Maybe it was something that was given to you, and that's why it's been so successful and doors are opening up and stuff like that. Because if what you're saying, you're in such psychosis and such a place in your head and everything like that, was this really something you could have come up with on your own?
Yep.
Boom.
And blows that
Sucker.
question out.
All right. So here's the thing.
All right.
Like we.
Okay.
I think, and real quick, not to shut that down, but
Sure.
I think what I do in my recovery gives me the ability to filter through and connect on a different level, a different wavelength than most people. Some say that's talking to a deity. I don't, but that's just where I approach it from.
Buddha.
Buddha.
Anyway,
Yeah, right. talking about dharmas, that's a whole nother show.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
But-
so I didn't want it. That's why I was like, real. Yeah.
All right, so this has kind of been our get to know the captain. This is and what this is, but
Yeah.
you know more than anybody.
Here we go.
Yes, sir.
You ready for it?
Are you ready? Are you ready for the questions?
Hey, where are the cameras at right now?
Right there, and there.
5 minutes, and I was
right.
like, I need to send her out.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Yeah, we have 3 questions that we asked.
Questions for you, yeah.
And you've had time to prepare, and that's kind of what gives me like
I don't think about these questions.
I know.
I know. Well, that's
I know.
good. Then you'll be raw.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was last time.
raw dogging it. He's raw dogging the questions.
Oh, and last time you had no,
Hopefully you've improved on it.
constraints.
No, I'm
Well.
just kidding. There's no judgment on questions.
You can say, yeah.
But go ahead, give him the questions. Bud.
Yeah, so that's our thing, just for today. So you have 24 hours to live.
Fuck you, Scott.
No,
seriously,
you
you have
have
a
24
24-hour
hours.
period, and then after that, you go into the afterlife or whatever. Where would you, on your last day, where would you go? Who would you spend your last day with? And then you have an opportunity to leave parting words for all of humanity. What would be the last things you would say to all of us
Yeah, what would you
for
say?
us to carry on? Like your lasting part.
I work an honest program.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what keeps me sober and alive.
Yes.
And there are parts of me that are still sick.
Sounds like a disclaimer.
This is a disclaimer.
He's setting it up, yeah. He's setting
And if I
us up.
said anything otherwise, it would be complete horseshit.
Right, okay.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I would.
Where would you go?
split my time. It would be. We sort of talked about this last time, but you guys brought in like teleportation and shit.
Yeah, we have.
So
Yeah, we have.
I would teleport my family to El Salvador with me on one of my favorite beaches.
El Salvador.
It would be Las Flores.
Las Flores.
Okay.
And I would spend 20 hours with them.
Oh, you're leaving 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm interested in this.
And actually, it'd probably be like 22 hours.
Okay.
Because it wouldn't take long.
All right. Okay.
I think I know where he's going with this.
Yeah.
And then I would go into the city. And I gotta die.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
you know.
You're going out with a bang,
Yep.
so to speak.
And yep. Oh, nice. Nice. Wow.
Sorry.
I would take my mom. I would take my mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
I would take fuck.
Not to the city.
I would take my vacation family, which is you know, she knows what that means.
All right. Yeah.
And then of course
Family.
and then of course my family, my beautiful wife, 2 daughters,
Yeah.
and
Take them to the beach.
So at 22
Yeah.
hours, you're like, all right, guys, it's been fun.
and it would be fantastic. And sorry,
Peace.
Sorry,
yeah,
but I need
gotta
to indulge.
like it's
Yeah. All right.
That's
one of-
honest, man. I respect the hell out of that. I do.
So what's
I
your
do.
last words? What are your parting words?
What
for
would you
Go
say?
fuck yourself.
Go fuck. Well, thank you. But what are your last words?
No,
fuck
those
yourself.
are his words.
I get it. Okay, but what are your last words?
Go fuck yourself.
That's it.
You know he's going to appear now, right? Oh wait, that's Beetlegeist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Candyman.
I'd hate to see the go
I
fuck
have-
yourself, man.
You know, honestly, besides my family and the people that I work directly with, I hate humans to like the nth degree. One of my
Okay.
favorite writers is Celine. He's like the lord
Celine
of
Dion.
I knew you were gonna say
Celine.
it.
Yeah, Celine Dion, the writer.
That French Canadian. So you sounded oddly robotic. So yeah, you're like a sentient being. I hate humans. Other than family.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something that I've had since I was a kid. Been super misanthropic, and so yeah.
Okay, so your parting words are go fuck yourself.
Yeah, my family knows
Why?
that comes from a place of love.
It does. I mean, I've already got that.
I know you guys know that comes
Yeah.
from a place of love.
Yeah.
And people who don't know me will hate it, and that comes from a place of hate.
Yeah.
So like it works on me on
works
2
on all-
levels.
They'll
Yeah.
hear it and be like, hey,
There
fuck
we
you,
go,
buddy.
yeah.
Who was
Yeah.
that?
Fuck you, buddy.
All right, well,
Yeah.
take us out, Scott.
Cool.
Play me out, Johnny.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
Are we gonna add demon at all?
Oh,
let's
yeah,
add
no,
demon.
we gotta
Do
add
you want
Yeah.
me to be the ad demon?
Well,
Sure, be the
I
ad
mean-
demon.
or
Yeah.
go
Yep.
ahead. Usually
The producer
you're the ad
would.
demon,
Usually the
but
producer's the ad demon, yeah, but so yeah, and I don't know how to do ad demon. I never pay attention.
okay. So
to
we
that
are
part.
on Broken Helm,
Yeah.
and specifically this podcast. We are on Apple Podcasts under
Yes.
podcast by Broken Helm, and you can type in just for
the number
Today
4 Today
Cast.
Cast.
We are on Spotify. Same thing, just for today under Broken Helm Podcasts. We are on Stitcher. Same thing. SoundCloud.
What's the one in Canada that's popular in
Stitcher.
Canada? That's Stitcher?
Yeah, Stitcher.
Okay.
And we film this clearly and put it on YouTube. And you guys have your own playlist right now.
Yep.
The channel is Broken Helm, which you can just type in on YouTube. I have yet to get a YouTube URL. That's coming.
Or you can type in just for Today Cast. It'll also pull up our episodes on YouTube.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And we have a Facebook page.
And we have a Facebook group.
We gotta do the Instagram thing.
Mm-hmm.
We have an Instagram and a Twitter, all of which needs to be more populated.
What's
but
the
we're gonna-
website?
The website is www.brokenhelm, Helm, not Broken Home. Everyone says, I'm like, I got a production company for addicts. They're like Broken Home. I'm like,
Yo.
it could be.
Hey, you should buy that and then have it just link to Broken Helm. You know that it's a
I wonder what brokenhome.com is.
I don't know.
probably like you
awful.
gotta pay
It's
for
probably-
some-
it's
Oh
dark. It's
no,
very dark.
It's
that's
probably-
bad.
Yeah.
It's probably really depressing.
Yeah.
Or
So-
erotic.
It could be.
I'm really curious.
Yeah,
'Cause it
no,
could
we're
be
gonna check.
both.
We're gonna
We're
check
gonna
that
get
out.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as we end this, somebody's gonna.
Yeah.
I'm doing
look
it right now.
I think my wife is.
So yeah.
She is.
So that yeah,
It's
that's
for
how-
sale.
Oh, it's for
Damn.
sale. We can buy it.
Buy
No.
it. And no. If you buy it and people mistype it, it
I
will link
get it, but that's
Yep.
it's too easy and too concise. It'll be too expensive.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool. So those are all the ways that people can experience Broken Helm and what it has to offer. And if anybody's interested in a project, they can get a hold of you on the website. Or,
Yep.
Yep. Cool.
When you edit this, please put what he just did in there while you're talking, because it looked like he was seizing.
I've had seizures.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
I don't think they look like that, but
Well, I've seen some.
they're not like I don't think you rock out. You're like
No.
Hey, it's a
So,
Steven
yeah.
Tyler seizure.
So yeah,
All right.
yeah, thanks for coming on. Tell us about the company and where you guys came from and what your vision is moving forward. And thanks for hosting us and the Just for Today Cast, me and JP, and everything that we do here. We couldn't do it actually without both you guys. Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Should I do my normal thing?
And thanks, Caitlin, for stepping in and filling in the production role.
Should I do my normal thing?
you kind of have to do it now.
Yeah.
Kind of got to do it now.
On behalf of Nick, Caitlin, Scott, and me, JP,
Yeah.
this has been the Just for Today Cast.